Yeah, good evening. Venus and Mars are all right tonight. I have to talk to you about Canada. I live on an island called Cape Breton, and we're in the North Atlantic. I'm right behind a high school here. Here in Canada, I always knew that our government was controlled by forces from China. And China, the disclosures are starting to come out. Okay? We realized today that the Trudeau Foundation, our Prime Minister, his father's foundation, a pedophile, received enormous amounts of money from the Chinese government in order to influence 13 different ridings in Ontario and British Columbia so that he would have a minority government in the Parliament of Canada, and he wouldn't be challenged by anyone because he's with the WEF, the WEFers, and Trudeau is himself compromised to the extent that it's starting to come out now, and you can't stop it. We're not going to be able to stop what comes out in the media. He's not going to be able to survive what's coming. Now, people in Canada don't get any information from our public media. What's happening is, what we have is the media is bought off by the Trudeau government. Our national broadcaster was the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and I call it the Communist Broadcast Corporation because they're paid off and they just chant what the government line. It's the same as China. The same with the other news broadcasts from Global and CTV, Bolton, they're all paid off. The pandemic wages that were paid to all of these employees from these agencies have now compromised Canada. And we're in a position where we have, to the north of where I'm at right now, there's an island called Newfoundland. Excuse me. Anyway, there's an airport on the island. Excuse me. I'm outside. First time in a while. Had surgery. Anyway, Stephenville Airport is the launching point in the Second World War for all the aircraft that went to Europe. So the actual runway is like 2.5 miles long. And lately it was bought for $500 million. And the airplanes that are arriving there are from the UAE. So there's lots of stuff going on north of Cape Breton in Nova Scotia. And don't kid yourself, the Chinese could take Eastern Canada overnight. All they need is 10,000 people on the ground. There's nobody here to stop them. So I hope that anybody who's listening to this will keep in mind that Canada has fallen. Okay, we've been compromised, and there's a chance that we might be able to pull it out. We'll see.